Welcome again to lesson 5, and here we just want to talk about how your data is being collected, how your data is being stored before they are being used, right? We won't just talk about data being valuable, talk about the type of data we have, talk about the different sources of data. We should also be able to talk about how this data is being collected and stored, because for everything that is of value there is need for management, and for what you have not, that is not under your control, you cannot manage. And then if data is that valuable and can be under our control, then there is need for us to manage it. And what we are saying in essence is there is need for us to know how this data is being collected. So when we know how it is collected and stored, then we know how to deal with our own data when it's our time, right? Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is surveys, observations, and sensors. These are the ways in which we collect data. You remember we talked about primary source of data. Now, your survey can be primary, it can be secondary, depending on how you're getting it. So if I put out a survey that collect the data directly from whoever I'm dealing with, that is primary. But how about my survey goes through two different sets of people before it gets to where I want to go, right? So observation is another one. Sensors is another one. Your temperature, your thermometer is an example of sensors. Those things that we use to measure temperature every day, be it clinical thermometer or any other thermometer. There are many other products, many other devices like that are sensors that we use in collecting data, right? All of those things are different ways through which we collect data. So we use surveys, we use questionnaires, and I think I should just dwell on that. Surveys and questionnaires, they are just like questions you send out for people to fill for you. Most of the time, these are always primary source of data. Many times they are always primary source of data. So you send these questionnaires out, people just fill it, they submit back to you, you collect your data and do whatever you want to do with them. Because the world is digital, you can always do it online. There are Google Forms, there are Microsoft Forms, all sorts of forms that you can use to collect data. All of them falls under primary source of data in one aspect, and the other aspect is they are just common source of data collection or data collection methods. Another one is observation. Observation is you sitting down to say, I want to know what is happening here. Now you start taking your records or taking your account from what you are seeing or what you hear. That is observation. That is you taking your stock, your data directly. This can only be primary source of data. So observation is another method of collecting data. So the last one is sensors. Sensors are devices, like I said, thermometers, which we use to collect temperatures, and then we have some other sensors to know the kind of, like soil sensors, to know the kind of things that are available on our soil. So all of those things are all part of methods through which we collect data. Right. So how do we store data? Before now, when everything was still paper and file, right? Traditionally, they are stored in notebooks, in papers, in files, in a small case, operation rooms, and different other means like that. But data have always been stored either in a notebook, in a paper, or in different other ways. But now, we can actually store our data in a digital form, which includes using spreadsheet or what we call database. As your business grows, you will have no choice but to just take them out of the paper and have them in spreadsheets, and even have your spreadsheet in databases. Those are the way we store our data. And I'll give you an instance. Let's say a farmer records daily milk production, or you record daily egg laid by your fowl, by your birds every day. The way you store that is in your books. Sometimes you can have them in your Excel, depending on what you are used to or what you know how to use properly. But the most important thing is you're having those data stored. So if you're on a farm where you don't take his computer or probably couldn't record on your phone, it's something you can record on the paper, and that data for your farm is stored on your paper. And then the other one, if you're an SME, at least to a large extent to be an SME, it means you are big to an extent. That means you must have your record in Excel sheets. That's the minimum. If your farm is big enough, then you can have them in what we call database. Do we get that? Is that clear enough? I hope you get that. All right. Thank you.